You know that iconic slogan, right? Bet you can't eat just one. These aren't just snacks, they're those incredibly thin, crispy slices of pure temptation that have turned simple munching into a global obsession, raking in over $4 billion a year, from the zesty kick of Valentina and lime to the savory, crispy taco. Lay's has taken the humble potato chip into a culinary adventure. So, have you ever paused mid-crunch and wondered what kind of amazing potato wizardry transforms an ordinary spud into these golden, irresistible wafers? Well, today, we're going to let the chip out of the bag, so to speak, and take a fascinating journey right through the heart of a Lay's factory with Factory Wonders US. A favorite story takes us back to 1853 to a place called Moon Lake House Restaurant in Saratoga Springs, New York. Chef George Crumb, a man known for his fiery personality, had the idea to slice a batch of potatoes paper thin, fry them to a brittle crisp, and shower them with salt. And soon, everyone else did too. Word of these Saratoga chips spread like wildfire. And what started as an accidental kitchen experiment slowly but surely evolved into the beloved snack we now universally call the potato chip. Fast forward to the early 1930s, and thanks to clever innovations like wax paper bags for freshness and better frying technology, small regional potato chip companies started popping up all over America, each with their own local charm. But as with many great American stories, one visionary rose above the rest to truly define the industry. Herman Lay founded H.W. Lay & Company in 1939. Decades later, Lay's still reigns supreme in the chip universe. And they didn't stop there. By the early 2000s, to ensure every single chip was consistently perfect, Lay's took potato science to a whole new level by developing its very own proprietary potato. This specialized potato is part of what's known as the FL cultivar series. Why go to all this trouble for a potato? Well, this spud is engineered with 3 crucial traits for chip perfection. First, it's high in starch, which is the secret to that distinctively crispy, satisfying texture we all crave. Second, it's low in sugar. Now, this is fascinating. Potatoes with high sugar content tend to caramelize too much under high heat, turning the chips an unappetizing dark brown. Lay's potatoes avoid this, ensuring that beautiful golden color. And third, this marvel of agricultural science has a much thinner skin, which significantly minimizes peel waste during production. Smart and sustainable. Now, harvesting potatoes isn't as simple as just plucking them from a vine. Because they're tubers growing underground, Lay's suppliers use highly specialized harvesters. These impressive machines dig about 10 inches beneath the soil surface, lifting the entire plant, roots, any stray stones, and soil, all in one big, efficient sweep. It's quite a sight. Then, all of this material rides up onto a graded, vibrating conveyor. This ingenious system shakes away loose dirt and debris and can sort through an astonishing 40,000 potatoes every single minute. Once a collection truck is brimming with its precious cargo, it heads over to a nearby storage barn, a facility specifically designed to handle absolutely massive quantities of fresh potatoes. It's not just a simple shed, it's the first step in preserving that farm-fresh quality. As the truck arrives, its rear gate lifts, and the potatoes cascade onto a sophisticated system of sieves and shakers. This setup vigorously bounces the spuds, gently but effectively knocking away any stubborn soil, small rocks, or lingering plant matter that might still be clinging to them. From there, the potatoes move along a conveyor and into an amazing piece of technology and optical sorter in just a matter of seconds. This machine uses advanced cameras and sensors to detect and automatically remove any stones or flawed tubers that might have slipped through. It's incredibly precise, still lightly dusted with a fine layer of their native soil, which actually helps protect them. The potatoes are then gently loaded by another conveyor into these giant wooden crates. Then, they're carefully hauled into an enormous cold storage cellar. When the frito-lay factory is ready for a new potato shipment, the process of moving these carefully preserved spuds springs back into action. Powerful forklifts retrieve the massive wooden crates from the cold storage and transfer them onto a conveyor system that leads directly to the washing area. It's here that the potatoes get their first real spa treatment. They gently tumble from the conveyor into a fast-moving water flume. But the cleaning doesn't stop there. Next, they roll across a series of stiff brushes that meticulously scrub away any persistent dirt, while powerful jets of water rinse them spotless from every conceivable angle. It's a thorough cleanse, ensuring only pristine potatoes move forward. Immediately after entering the building, a highly trained worker pulls a random batch of these newly arrived potatoes for some crucial quality checks, including one for their buoyancy, or what we in the field call their flesh-to-water ratio. Using an instrument called a hydrometer, the batch is submerged in a water vat. These readings are instantly relayed to the fryer controls, allowing technicians to precisely adjust cooking times and temperatures for that specific batch. This meticulous attention to detail is a key reason why Lay's can achieve such remarkable consistency, delivering that perfect chip every single time. That very same sample batch also makes a quick trip to the factory's kitchen for a fry test. After being sliced and cooked under standard conditions, technicians carefully examine them. Next up in this potato pampering process, our clean spuds travel into one of 6 industrial-sized peeling machines. These aren't your grandma's vegetable peelers. Each one is lined with a coarse, abrasive material, almost like very rough sandpaper. As the potatoes tumble around inside, the friction against these abrasive walls gently but effectively removes their thin skins, while continuous jets of water simultaneously wash away the peels. It's a highly efficient system. Together, these 6 powerful peelers can process an astounding 4 million potatoes, or about 2.5 million pounds, daily. Here, if they're still a bit too big for the slicers, large, sharp blades will neatly split them in half, ensuring every piece is the ideal size for the next critical step. The potatoes, now perfectly peeled, sorted, and sized, climb up another conveyor, and then drop into these amazing contraptions, spinning drum slicers. Inside these rapidly rotating drums, centrifugal force, that same force that keeps water in a bucket when you swing it over your head, flings each potato outward with considerable speed against a set of incredibly sharp, waiting blades. In a flash, literally in the blink of an eye, each potato segment is transformed into approximately 35 perfectly uniform slices. And the precision here is paramount. Each slice measures exactly 5/100ths of an inch thick. That's about the thickness of a couple of sheets of paper. This isn't just a random number, it's the perfect dimension for an uncooked Lay's chip, carefully calibrated to achieve that signature light, crispy texture and the gentle saddle curl that many Lay's chips develop as they fry. Why such a stickler for thinness? Well, if the slices were too thick, they'd likely stay flat and potentially be a bit heavy, or even slightly undercooked in the center. If they were excessively thin, they might fold over on themselves too much or become too brittle and prone to breaking. For wavy Lays or ruffles, the blades are intricately zigzagged to carve those famous flavor-trapping ridges into every single slice. It's a small detail that makes a big difference in the chip's character and how it interacts with seasonings. If this starch weren't removed, the slices would tend to clump and stick together when they enter the fryer, resulting in a clumpy, unevenly cooked mess instead of individual, perfectly crispy chips. Once they've been thoroughly de-starched, they pass under these powerful vacuums. Getting them as dry as possible before frying is key to achieving that ultimate crispiness and preventing oil splattering. Now, for the moment of truth, the transformation by fire, or rather, by oil. After being meticulously de-starched and surface-dried, the potato slices take the plunge into a truly impressive piece of equipment, a 40-foot-long continuous fryer. The slices will cook for about 3 minutes, bubbling away at a temperature of roughly 350 degrees. However, both the exact time and temperature are dynamic. They can be subtly varied based on those critical starch and moisture level readings taken from the inbound buoyancy test we talked about earlier. This ensures that regardless of slight variations in the raw potatoes, the end product is consistently perfect. As the slices fry, a fascinating exchange happens. The moisture inside the potato cells rapidly turns to steam and evaporates. And this escaping moisture is replaced by the hot oil. This is what gives the chip its low moisture content and crispy texture. And here's a little trick of the trade. An insider secret used by Lay's, they strive to keep the oil mixture in the fryer at roughly a 50-50 ratio, meaning it's about 50% fresh oil and 50% already used but filtered and clean oil. You might think all new oil would be best, but Lay's found that if it were 100% new oil, the chips would actually turn out a bit too greasy. This carefully managed blend achieves that perfect non-greasy crispness. Emerging from this golden bath, the chips are hot, perfectly golden, and irresistibly crispy. And if you were to watch them coming out, you'd notice everything seems to be gently shaking or vibrating. Since Lay's classic chips are so wonderfully thin and delicate, especially right after frying, every single conveyor, every ladder or chute they descend, every drop, and every scoop they encounter must vibrate just enough to gently nudge them forward. This clever engineering prevents the precious cargo from sticking, or, more importantly, from smashing against any hard surfaces. If Lay's were to use traditional rolling conveyor belts for the cooked chips, like they do for the robust raw potatoes, these fragile beauties would inevitably break and crumble as they transfer from one step to the next. And the result, you'd end up with a bag full of tiny crumbs. And absolutely nobody wants that, right? Once they've cooled slightly, the chips zip under another marvel of technology, an optical sorter specifically designed for cooked chips. Its primary mission is to look for any imperfections that might have occurred during frying, mainly any brown spots, overcooked edges, or other visual flaws. This split-second inspection is a major reason why when you tear open a bag of Lay's, you're almost always greeted with a delightful sea of perfectly golden, inviting chips. Now it's time for that final flourish. The touch that elevates these golden wafers from simply crispy to utterly craveable. The seasoning, the perfectly fried and sorted chips cascade gently into a large, slowly rotating tumbler. This could be plain, fine salt for the beloved Lay's classic, or it might be one of the complex custom spice blends used in one of the over 200 different flavors Lay's offers to tantalize taste buds worldwide. It's a dazzling array, from smoky barbecue to zesty lime, and even adventurous creations like crispy fried chicken or Chesapeake crab spice. As this seasoning drum spins, an internal auger or tube system carefully and evenly disperses the seasoning over the tumbling chips, ensuring that both sides of every single chip receive a consistent coating for that perfect, even finish. It's a delicate dance to get just the right amount of flavor on every chip. Once they're perfectly seasoned, the chips gently drop into a bucket elevator. This specialized conveyor looks like a series of small buckets on a continuous loop, and it carefully carries the delicate, seasoned chips. Finally, the precisely weighed portions of chips descend through chutes into the bagging machine waiting on the ground floor. As the bags are filled, the machine performs another crucial step. It tops each one off with nitrogen gas, replacing the regular oxygen that would normally be in the bag. Why nitrogen? Well, oxygen is what causes snacks to go stale quickly through oxidation. Nitrogen, being an inert gas, prevents this by keeping the chips fresher for much longer. Then, the bag is instantly heat-sealed shut, locking in that freshness and flavor. And isn't there a beautiful, inspiring lesson in all of this for us? Just like that humble potato, each of us holds incredible, often untapped potential. It's the consistent, loving attention to the small details, those seemingly minor efforts in our work, our passions, or how we connect with others that truly transforms potential into something extraordinary and deeply satisfying. Lay's didn't just happen upon perfection, they meticulously crafted it, step by dedicated step. It's a powerful reminder that your consistent passion can also yield something amazing. What small detail in your own life, wow, when you give it your heart, creates a little bit of magic? We'd be so moved to read your stories in the comments below. And if this journey with Factory Wonders US has ignited your curiosity and made you eager for more behind-the-scenes magic, please show your love with a thumbs up. And most importantly, subscribe to Factory Wonders US. Let's continue to explore these incredible transformations together.